So, when it comes to your retirement savings, competing with your children's college fund, what should you do? How should you think about this? That's where we're looking at in this video.
So, if you're a parent in your 40s, you are smack in the middle of one of the biggest financial puzzles out there, right? Your kids are getting closer and closer to college age, but at the same time, your own retirement, well, it isn't some far off dream anymore. It is right there on the horizon. So, the big question is, where does your money go? It's all about priorities. And today, we're going to break down a simple rule that makes the answer surprisingly clear. And let's be honest, it is a tough choice. It's this huge tug of war, not just on your bank account, but on your emotions too. I mean, on one hand, you want to give your kids every possible advantage in life, and that includes a debt-free education. But on the other hand, that clock is ticking loudly on your own financial future. And this is the question, isn't it? This is the one at the heart of it all. Do you ease up on your 401k contributions so you can pour that cash into a college fund, or do you stay laser focused on your own nest egg? It can feel like a totally impossible choice, but the framework we're exploring today, it offers a really powerful and actually pretty simple way to think about it. So let's talk about a mental model that just cuts right through all that confusion. It's called the oxygen mask rule. And yeah, you've heard it every single time you've gotten on an airplane. And believe it or not, it applies perfectly to your financial life. You know the drill, right? The flight attendant says to secure your own oxygen mask first before helping anyone else. Well, financially, it's the exact same logic. You must secure your own retirement before you start helping out with your kids' college education. Look, if there's only one thing you take away from all this, let it be this right here. Prioritize your retirement savings over your children's college fund. Now, I know that might feel a little weird, maybe even a bit selfish at first blush, but let's dig into why it's actually the most responsible and honestly the most loving thing you can possibly do. Okay, so why is this the smartest move? Well, the whole foundation of this oxygen mask rule, it all comes down to one simple, undeniable fact. The financial options you have for college and the options you have for retirement, they are not created equal, not even close. This is the blunt truth of the situation. This isn't about who's more deserving or who's more important. It's simply about who has access to funding. Your kid, as a student, has a whole menu of financial options to pay for school. You, as a retiree, you don't. And this slide really puts it into stark contrast. Just look at the left column. Your child can apply for student loans, both federal and private. They can get grants. They can earn scholarships. There's a massive industry built around helping kids fund their education. Now, look at the right column. What do you see? Personal savings. That's it. That's the whole list. There is no plan B for you. And this right here, this is the bottom line. Just think about it for a second. If you run out of money when you're 80 years old, what are you going to do? You can't just walk into a bank and ask for a retirement loan to cover your bills for the next 10 years. That product literally does not exist. But a student loan, that's a standard, readily available financial tool. Now, beyond the simple logic of loans, there's a huge mathematical reason to put your retirement first. And it has everything to do with the magic of compound interest. See, when you're in your 40s, time is still your biggest ally. But that window of opportunity, it's definitely starting to close. This chart shows it so clearly. Every single dollar you invest today, right now, still has a 20+ year runway to grow. Thanks to the power of compounding, every 10 grand you invest now could easily be worth $40,000, or even more by the time you actually need it. That's not just growth. That's a wealth building engine you absolutely cannot afford to turn off. So this is the big warning sign. If you hit pause on your 401k or IRA contributions to funnel that cash into a tuition fund, you're not just losing the money you didn't put in. No, you are forfeiting decades of future growth on that money. You're sacrificing the most valuable growth years your savings have left. And here's the kicker. You can never, ever get that time back. Okay, so we've spent a lot of time on the why. Now let's get really practical and talk about the how. This brings us to a super clear, very shrewd order of operations for your savings. Think of it like a simple checklist. Here's the game plan. Step 1, max out your 401k, especially if your company offers a match. I mean, that's literally free money. You can't leave that on the table. Step 2, max out your IRA. After that, step 3, if you have access to a health savings account in HSA, do it. It's an incredible retirement tool with a triple tax advantage. And then, and only then, after you have filled up all these other retirement buckets, should you start directing money to a 529 college savings plan. Now, I know this all sounds very numbers and sense focused, so let's wrap this up by reframing what this strategy is really all about. Following the oxygen mask rule isn't being selfish. It's actually one of the greatest gifts you will ever give your children. See, by making your own financial independence your absolute top priority, you are lifting a massive potential burden off their shoulders in the future. You are giving them the incredible gift of their own financial freedom down the road. Let's put it this way. By taking care of yourself now, you're making sure that 30 years from now, when your kids are trying to buy a house, save for their own retirement, maybe start their own families, they won't also have the stress of supporting you. You are preventing yourself from becoming their unplanned and most expensive retirement plan. And that really brings us to our final thought. Look, a debt-free degree is an amazing launchpad in life. There is no question about that. But a future that's free from the financial and emotional burden of caring for a parent, well, that might just be the most valuable gift of all. So the question really isn't just about money. It's about what true lifelong support really looks like.